Welcome students. So today I am going to continue with the same chapter, lesson water, but today's topic is sources of water. So let us begin this. Sources of water. We know that water is the most important resource of our universe and it is widely distributed in our earth. About 4/5 of our earth's surface is covered by water. So let us begin that what is the ultimate source of water. The sources of water has been divided into 3 categories. The first is the surface water. From the name also it is clear, surface water means the water which we found generally see on the surface of the earth. And the next category is the underground water that we cannot see on the surface of the earth, that is below the earth's surface. And the next is the atmospheric water. Atmospheric water means which we found in the atmosphere, that means in the air. Now let us see, the surface water has been again divided into river, lake. Normally we see the water in the form of river, lake, pond, then ocean, sea, all has been again divided into 2 parts. So that means ocean, sea, these are the very large part, and river, lake, these are the comparatively smaller part. Now coming to the underground water. Underground water means the water which we cannot see on the surface water. That means they have been again divided into 2 categories, that is the well water, tube well water, boring well water. These are the all coming under the well water category. And the spring water, we have already seen that the spring water also rushes out from the underground also. That means the spring water also coming under the underground water. Now coming to the atmospheric water, that means we usually see in the atmosphere, and we know that in the atmosphere water present in the form of water vapor. And that's why, and if water vapor will be there, this water vapor goes up, get condensed and fall down as a rain. So rain is the ultimate source of the water. So rainwater is the best choice for this atmospheric water, as well as the water vapor always present in the air. So these are the 2 categories of the atmospheric water. So today in this session we will see one by one all this category. So let us begin with the surface water now. Surface water has been again categorized into, I have told you, has been categorized into ocean, then sea. Ocean and sea are the same thing only, and the next category is the, next to the ocean is the river water. So these are the, then pond, lakes, all are there. So first we will talk about the ocean or sea water. You know that the ocean water is the very saline water. Saline water means they carry large amount of salt in them. And what is the salt normally present in them? That is the sodium chloride. And they contain the large amount of salt in them, and ultimately this river water impurities also go and mix into the ocean water also. That means ultimately they carry the impurities of the river water also, as well as they carry all the salt concentration is very high. That's why it is we cannot drink this water, neither we can drink this water, neither you can use this water for industrial purpose, neither this water can be used in the agriculture purpose, because it contains so much salt that it will make the plants and all die. And even we human being, any living things cannot drink this salty water. It induces vomiting, so we cannot drink this also. So this water may be carry large percentage of salt in them, and maybe large amount of water is present in the ocean only, but then also it is totally unfit for drinking purpose and all other useful purpose. Now coming to the river water. River water also carries all the impurities in them, because you know, but river water is we are using all the domestic use, domestic works also, and industrial works can be done with the help of the river water, but it needs to be purified. Suppose for our river water, sometime river, lake water are used for our consumption also, but it comes under various processes. Okay, under various processes it comes, then only it comes to our home for our drinking purpose. But this river water carries also various types of suspended and dissolved impurities in them. Suspended means which floats on them, and they are visible also, means floating, as well as insoluble impurities, and dissolved also. Dissolved means many types of minerals and alls are present, as well as many types of minerals, impurities, organic compounds, then all the decay compounds, all are being thrown into the river, and they make the river water impure, and this river water ultimately go and mix into the sea water, and in this way the sea water also get impure day by day. So these are the ultimate, and we can say that surface water are the very impure form of water. Now this all we have a talk about the surface water. Underground water is what you know that when the rain falls, you have seen that when the rain falls on the earth, it falls on the surface water, it falls on the earth also, it falls on the monuments, everywhere it falls equally. When it falls on the earth, you will see when it falls for a certain time, several hours when it falls, you will find that everywhere on the earth it forms a big puddles on the earth, means puddles forms of cloths with water. But when the rain stops after several hours, you find that the puddle vanishes. That means why it vanishes? Where is the water gone? This water has been, some of the water is being absorbed by the soil. That means the water seeps into the soil. Now we will see here that how it gets seeps and where it does goes. Now let us see. Suppose this is the earth's surface. Now when the rainwater falls, then what happened? You know that our earth's surface, the first few layers are all soil. Okay, these are all soil. The soil seeps the rainwater. Major portion of when it falls on the earth's surface, the major portion of the earth seeps the water. Then this water, when it crosses, slowly crosses the soil level, and when it crosses the soil level, slowly, and as it crosses the soil level, different layers of rocks are found. So some different rocks are found, but rocks are of various categories. Some rocks are very porous. Some rocks are very porous, which are also known as permeable rock. Permeable means what? Which permits. Permit means allows. That means why it allows? Allows only the water to pass through. Why? Because it has tiny pores in them. That's why the name has been given porous rock. So you will find that immediately after the layers of the soil, there are certain layers of rocks also present inside below them. So they are porous in nature. So when these porous rocks are there, the water simply pass through them, but only water will be, because the pores are so tiny that it allows only the water to pass, but the other insoluble suspended impurities are held back behind. That means they are all held back, only the water is allowed to pass. That means it is one type of natural filtration is being done. That means it is one type of filtration is going on. That means water is getting filtered by the rocks. Now what happens? In this way the water is getting filtered and getting down. It gets down slowly until it gets another varieties of rock, which is not porous. It is a non-porous rock. What it is? It is a non-porous rock. Non-porous means it is a totally solid rock. It has no pores in them. Then what happened? The water which will come, it will not be allowed to go more below the earth's surface. Then what will happen? All the water will come and being collected above the non-porous rocks. In this way, the more and more water will be collected, they will come and collect above the non-porous rocks. In this way, the collection keep on collecting year and year after year. The collection will be keep on going on under the earth's surface, and this layer of water which is being keep on collecting above the non-porous rock is known as underground water. Underground water. And this, the water, the layer which has been formed is known as water table. Okay, now you can say that is this water good for our drinking? Yes, it is little bit good for our drinking. Why? Because it does not contain any suspended impurities and germs in them. But soluble impurities are there, like minerals and all are there, but insoluble impurities, because they are getting filtered by these rocks, that's why they don't contain any insoluble impurities in them, neither any germs in them. In this way, what happened? They are quite good for our health. That's why when we dug any well, then what happened? The well has to be dug till this layer. Otherwise, no water will be continuously supplied. If you dug the well till here, no water will come. You have to dug the well till the water table. Got it? And similarly, suppose you want to fit a tube well, then you have to give the pipeline till the water table. Otherwise, no water will be coming from the tube well. When you will give the tube well and water water has to be come out, if you give the tube well till here, then no water will come. You have to input the pipe till the water table is there. So understand this one. So this is very important, that water table, till the water table where it is there, till there you have to fit the arrangement. Whether it is a well or it is a tube well or it is a boring pipe for the circulation of the water to the complex or colonies, or wherever you want to supply the continuous supply of water, wherever you want to go, you have to attach the pipeline till the water table where the water table is there. Got it? This is called water table. Now you know that different places of the earth is having different types of soil. So, and soil have different types of minerals in them. That's why you will see that wherever the soil having different minerals, the water which is the water table which is crossing by this all minerals will also have different taste. That's why you will see that the tube well water, wherever you go, you will not find the same taste, because that's why the spring which comes out, spring water also, which is surrounded with the spring water, when you taste, you don't get the taste of the spring water everywhere same. Why? Because although they are coming out from the underground, the soil is not the same everywhere, and soil contains varieties of minerals which are differ from place to place. And that's why where the water is there, the water is surrounded by soil, different types of soils are there, and when this soil is getting the minerals present in the soil near the water is giving you the taste of the water. The minerals present in the soil surrounding the water is giving you the different taste of the water. Okay students, so this underground water is very, very important for you. So this is all about the water. So more the deeper you go to get the water table, the more the pure will be the water. Got it? The more the deeper you go in the deeper will be the water table, the more the pure you will get. Now your question will be why? Because the more the filtration will be done by the different types of rocks. Yes or no? That means it has crossed different types of layers of the porous rock. That means more filter has been done. That means more the pure is the water. So that means more the deeper you get the well, the more the pure is the water. Got it? So in this way, the underground water has been done. Okay. Now we will go to the next one, that is the rainwater. rainwater, you know very well that all the surface water, the vapors are going up because of the sun heat, and these vapors, when it goes very up, it get condensed into water droplets, and these droplets come together and make big clouds, and these clouds, when they become very heavy, they fall down as a rain. So this is only what? This is the only process of the rainfall. That means water vapor, evaporation, and again they condense and they fall down. That means what are the two processes going in the rainfall formation? That is evaporation of the vapor and condensation of the vapor. Yes, evaporation of the rainwater, surface water, and condensation of the vapor. These two processes are there. That's why you will see that the rainwater is told as because vapor is only going, vapor is only condensing, and vapor is only coming down as a form of droplets. That's why rainwater is considered to be very pure form. Now rainwater contains, what are the impurities normally present in the rainwater when it falls down? It contains only few impurities in them because it crosses the air. When it crosses the air, it contains the impurities, dust in them, because you know air contains dust in them, and some gases. You know air is a mixture of gases. What are the gases? Carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and oxygen. And which are the gases are there? Any more gases is there? Nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. These are the three chief gases, and dust are present in the rainwater. And when the rainwater mix with them plus rainwater, when they mix with them, these all are not so harmful, not so poisonous, because you know carbon dioxide, we also exhale them. Now carbon dioxide is a non-poisonous gas, nitrogen is also non-poisonous gas, and oxygen is a very helpful gas for us, helps in respiration. So these all are very good gases, they are not harmful gases. So as a whole, the rainwater, when it comes out with all these gases, they are not harmful for us. But since they are mixing with all this dust and all these gases, so we always advise that first 15 minutes rainwater, first shower of the rainwater, we never collect in our any reservoir, because you know rainwater harvesting, we used to collect the rainwater for our preserving the rainwater for our future use. The farmers used to collect them because for the wherever the rainwater will be, when rainy season will be not there, they can use that water for cultivation. At that, because rainwater is a pure form of water that can be used easily in the cultivation purpose, in the land cultivation and all. Then what happened, this rainwater, when it will be, they will start collecting from the beginning only? No, first 10 minutes the rainwater will be not collected, because this will be full of these gases. So first 10 minutes they will not collect, after that they will start collected in their tanks. So in this way rainwater will be collected. So you that's why it is always tell that the rainwater is the purest form of water. So what are so many sources you have learned today about the surface water, which is the impure form of water, then the underground water, which is the pure form of water, but it contains some dissolved impurities in them. So more the deeper will be the underground water, more the pure form will be its form. Now coming to the rainwater, which is the ultimate source of water, but it is considered to be the purest form of water. So students, we have discussed the three sources of water in details. I hope you have understood all the three sources of water, that is the surface water, underground water, and the rainwater. So now you will study from your book the page 86, 87 and 88, and keep studying nicely and be healthy. Have a good day. Thank you.